I want to show you something inside the engine, and this is a very common mistake people make very easily, especially no experienced ones. When you put obviously the sump back on, you want some sort of a sealant, and you can see there are like pockets for the sealants to escape, because you don't want to be in too much of a surface because it creates resistance. However, the surface is all nice and flat, and that surface is nice and flat, and especially on the engines like this, when you have a lot of bolts for the sump, they're very close to each other. You know that that surface is going to be clamped very tightly on there, so you really need a minimum amount of sealant, tiny bit, just a lick. A leak. And instead what people do is to put loads of it, because, you know, just to make sure it seals. It's not gonna harm any additional, but in fact it does. I mean, I didn't touch this one, I'm touching it right now. Where do you think this is gonna go? This is gonna eventually take off, because on the side here there's no surface to be contacted on, and I'm pretty sure they haven't cleaned it on this side, just the surface with the braking or whatever, you know, and that stuff just doesn't stick to it. And where's the other part? Where's the part that was there? Because I can clearly see it was missing, you know. So it's just, and then you have, you know, stuff like the pickups being blocked by the silicone and stuff like this. It's usually this, you know, these engines, these 1.8 20 valves, they fail because poor maintenance. This is part of the maintenance and, you know, working on the car. This is shocking, you know. Why would you do it? This really is asking for troubles. This is a matter of time. It will cause troubles, not if, but when. So that, I like it. That being said, all of that being said, I like the fact that this is constructed the way it is, you know. It's kind of like a baffled sump, made fairly nicely, because yeah, the structure, obviously they designed it this way. But yeah, this needs to be clean, so this has to come off now, and I need to make sure everything is clean. I need to make sure that is clean, which I think I made a new invention. I'm gonna sell them to all the workshops. Just a simple stand with a bit of pole that you can adjust in height. These obviously swivels wherever I want, you know. Oh, don't Star Wars lights. And it's like in this place, it shines on the block inside. I can see everything instead of picking up with the light and everything. It's just brilliant. I had it here, I had it there. It's just great. Anyways, bollocks to this. So yeah, this I have to inspect it inside as well. It looks okay because this was freshly built, but at least I have to inspect the oil pump, because yeah, once you're here, even if you know this is good, you know, there's no signs of anything entering. It would be stupid not to. So yeah, and look what we found, as suspected. I mean, come on. I mean, that sludge, I mean, clean that sump at least better, you know, proper. I mean, all of that stuff, that's not gonna generate you any problems if you're driving normally. Reason for that, because this is heavy, it stays down there, kind of. It still contaminates the oil or the stuff, but you're not gonna have a massive issue straight away. But the moment you start driving a bit harder, let's say for example circuit where this is the car for, that's gonna be, obviously the oil's got very hot, it's gonna shake left and right quite a lot. You know, there's gonna be a lot of squashing around with the oil, more than usual, and that's gonna pick it up, and then it's just a disaster waiting for happen, and it's inevitable, because eventually the pickup is gonna suck it up, and obviously the big particles is gonna be stopped. Usually this stuff, it will be stopped by this mesh, and even if you have some tiny bit maybe goes there, the pump will chew it up, it will send it over. But the problem is you have some very small oil galleries, and God knows what they're gonna block in a way. So that's bad. But also all of that not being clean. I mean, what's this? This looks almost like sand. Looks almost like when you assemble it, you didn't take care of it, and there was a bit of a dust, a bit of a dirt, you know. Again, looks like God knows what it was when they assembled it, where they got the sump from, but that's absolutely not acceptable. So yeah, that needs to be cleaned and taken care of before the car hits the truck or anything. Well, this has no place regardless inside the engine. So yeah, you have to take care of that. And I'm definitely now taking the pump off just in case, just to make sure everything is right. I mean, this shouldn't actually be my problem. I shouldn't actually do it at all. This is supposed to be the engine, which is just replaces that one. I should just remove the stuff from there. Well, actually, the gearbox and like auxiliary stuff, like the alternator brackets and all that. Spark plugs, because they're new. And then turbo system is new, but all we have to do is just, you know, swap the block around. But, you know, like Steve pointed out, he found out the pump there was something wrong with the pump. He checked it up and we ordered a new pump because the old one was broken. So you still want to do this kind of checks, you know, regardless if it's your responsibility or not, because I mean, I could just, you know, swap it around, make this pickup work. I mean, this is what Chris bought, and swap it around. That's what he pays me for, but also, you know, one step ahead. And yes, obviously he's going to have to pay me for this, clearly, but you know, it costs you, you know, a couple of hours labor, 3 hours labor, whatever it is going to be, but it saves you an engine and a lot more, because it's not just the engine. Let's say that engine, you know, goes bang inside the circuit. Is your day ruined? Is your expenses? You get there, and to be honest, these days we're all busy. So getting a day free or a weekend free from work, it's, you know, it's valuable. So yeah, it's not just the money, it's time as well. Anyways, yeah. All right, let's do it. Well, I don't want to be paying ass, but I have to show you. Don't know if you can see inside there. Inside, just let me just grab maybe the screwdriver. You see what's in there? There you go. Just come off. As a small kind of like a metal ball. What that is a welding splatter. So they probably welded. I don't want to take this off because this pipe is probably welded to this metal fitting, MIG welded. You don't use MIG for this kind of welding because the splatter and all the bits goes inside as well and results in that. I mean, that is a tiny. Actually, I can pick it up. I can actually pick it up and show you. This is. It pisses me off nearly. Now, I don't like to talk about people, you know, building the engines or whatever, or the mechanics or the builders or whatever, tuners, bad. But I don't know who built this, so I can talk bad about them, no problems. So let me just pick it up and I'll show you what it is. And you tell me if that will not create, let me see the camera focuses, yeah. Tell me if that will not cause problems to the engine. I mean, it's small enough to probably pass through there, maybe not, but if it does, you know exactly what's going to happen. And if it doesn't pass through there, goes anywhere else, again, you know exactly what's going to happen. That thing is lethal. And if this is the kind of job they did with this, you know, oil return, I mean, come on. This is supposed to be threaded. I mean, these sumps, they're very thin as the walls. There's just no way you can thread this up and you can put a thread in the hole once you make it and screw something in. The metal is so thin, there's gonna be one thread maybe, there's nothing to hold it. Hence, obviously, you have to seal it with all of this. Just no, you can't do it this way. It will not work. It has to be aluminium. You can do it, but you have to kind of have a nut behind it. We've done it sometimes, but not on these sumps. You have to have enough flat surface like this. There's plenty of it when there is a space for the nut behind it, and then you have to secure the nut behind it. So even with the vibrations, if by any chance it gets loose, it will not actually come off completely, and actually should make sure it doesn't go loose. So yeah, this is one of the examples why sometimes engines fails. And then you have people saying, oh, this is, VR6 shit, because a friend of mine had one, built everything proper, everything done proper, spent so many hours, paid someone to do it, blah, blah. And then second day of the track or fifth day of the track, or the dyno just exploded for no reason. Yeah, right. We've seen this so many times. Oh, well. Anyways, sorry for the rant, but this is just disgusting. It just please, whoever you are, stay away from the engines and the internals. Anyways, so clean the sump. This is how a sump should look like, cleaned inside. Everything, all the small galleries, this kind of retainers for the seal to be squashed and everything. And do you remember what I said about the thread? I don't know if you can see it from there. There you go. Yeah, that's just not viable, not good. I haven't cleaned it outside besides on the spots that have to weld. So this, we need a plate to blanket off, and obviously I'm going to make a hole there and weld a piece of a tube or whatever I'm going to come up with for the oil return. So that's very important. But now we are on the oil pump. It's good. It's good. However, I need to a piece of a rod, because I spotted something I want to show you. It's quite jammed in there. I don't understand how, but it is. Where is it? There are a few things in there, not just one. Unfortunately, this is pressed in and kind of like riveted around like this, presses here, so you can't take this off. It would be nice to be able to disassemble it, but you can't. Oh, you could, but it's too much of work. There you go, there you go, there you go. Come on, come off. Okay. Come on. So what this is, it's not a spring. This is cloth. So also this is another, I think, cloth or something else, maybe. It's a good job there is a filter there, like a mesh. But this, and if you recognize this, if I pull it, it's gonna break very easily because it's made of aluminium. You see, this is thread. I don't know where that thread comes from. It's quite big. This is like M10 or M12. I don't see anything that big inside the sump. Actually, no, I do. What a moron. I do. I know exactly what that is, where it came from. It's not bad. It's alright. It's exactly there. Let me just check if the camera focuses. It's there. You know what that is? Yep. So yeah, you got to be careful how you do the engine oil. All of these things, there you go, just engine oil change. And you do it wrong, over tight something, you're gonna strip piece of thread like this inside the sump. This is aluminium. It's very easy to strip it down if you over tight it. And then you're probably gonna, the next oil change out, when you push that bolt back in, this once comes off, is gonna go inside the sump, which exactly what happens. And then you say, okay, do you remember when I showed you those bits that were floating inside the sump, and I said it's just a matter of time, this is gonna be sucked inside the pump. Well, this was already inside the pump there, so there you go. It's not just the theory, it's not just shit talking, this stuff just happens. And so this now has to be cleaned proper. I don't see anything else in there. I put the magnet on it, blah blah. I'm gonna blow away the washer, and all that stuff. So that's gonna be cleaned. However, the pump doesn't seem to be in bad condition at all. It seems to be okay. So I think this engine, after someone built it, didn't run much or at all. So this is what we've been told. Yeah, you can see some wear surface, but there are no scratches. You know, if there's no scratches, it's fine. You know, discoloration or anything, I mean, it's a normal wear. This is absolutely good. Gears, you want to change the gears. One of them is a drive gear. One of them, okay. So this here is a drive gear because it spins with the shaft, and this is the shaft. It's a 5mm Allen key, which is this really. So what you have like a drive from the timing. Now timing drive, there's a shaft there, and there is a gear set in there, and this goes inside there. There you go. Still moves, you see, it drives, it goes into the drive, has exactly the same hole as the pump, 5mm Allen key. No, and this sitting here, sorry, this sitting here, I mean, you probably know this stuff already, but just in case, it goes there and it spins the shaft. So what it does, let me put the gears back in. So what it does this. Now by spinning this, let me just get that stuff. So by spinning this, it spins this way. So what it does, once you put this cover on, you see this way, right? So it gets oil from here through this gallery, goes out of this side, yeah? Actually, you know what? This is gonna be actually easier. Well, no, because that stays in. It doesn't matter, this stays in, all the gear stays here. This spins this way. So that way, and clearly obviously catches the oil is been here, goes through these gears. You see there is a gap there, you know, is that kind of like a recess, round recess. It doesn't match the shape of the gears. It squeezes the oil and throws that oil to that side, and then from that side it goes to this tube, which is this, and through this tube it presses that oil into the block, and then from the block obviously you have the oil galleries, you know, goes on the top, goes here, oil filter, turbo pressure, around the engine, around the head and everything through the oil galleries. So you know how this stuff works. But anyways, what you have to do is just inspect these gears inside here, because if they scratched badly for any reason, then you know there's been a foreign object, hard one, and they not good anymore with that. No, I can't feel it. It's good to wash them because oil can actually reflect the light and you may miss something. There was something there, but nothing major. I can't feel it. Even with the gloves you should be able to feel it. I don't feel anything. Yeah, it's definitely not new, but in good condition. This will be fine. I'm more than comfortable to leave this pump alone and run it, no problem. Pump cleaned, inspected, all good, back together. Sump not modified yet, but what I'm gonna do, without the seals, without any sealant or anything, I'm gonna put it with about 4 or 6 bolts on, just to cover everything. And I'm not gonna even mark where exactly to put the oil return until the engine is actually all assembled with all the turbo and exhaust manifolds and everything around it and inside the car, because it's there is a chance I could make a mistake and I don't want to do it. So I'm gonna wait, be patient and do it correctly. You see, in this instance, with the turbo in this position, with the oil return, I'm going around the CV joint. This was quite fiddly to put this return that big, but that fits perfectly on this engine, on this sump and everything. But on the other one, I'm not so sure, because that seems to be a little bit more on the angle for some reason, and also I want to see where the turbo actually sits, because turbo position being changed. Maybe I can do a different route. If the turbo is maybe on this side, maybe I can put it somewhere there when I have more space away from the CV joint, because obviously the drive shaft is thinner, and I could maybe go on an angle and go straight into the sump and the angle instead of straight like here. So yeah, I'm going to be patient with that, and I'm going to find the best solution once we have everything in. So yeah, I'm going to reassemble that, and then we're going to do something exciting. Be patient. And we start transferring all the stuff around to this block. First of all, we have to replace, I already replaced this two missing. We want to put them back in place. And lots of fiddling. Turbo is brand new, same for the exhaust, we're brand new. We ran around the block a couple of times, but that's it, so it's pretty much brand new. But yeah, start removing stuff, and you know, it's gonna be, before we know it, we have to remove the gearbox. I'm gonna put that engine actually on here, because it's gonna be in exactly the same place as this with the gearbox, etc, etc. And yeah, plenum probably gonna, I don't think I have to remove it. I'll probably leave it on, because we have to remove the alternator and the brockery and all that stuff, and then obviously engine mounts. But this is bolted together because the front mount is bolted with the gearbox bolts that bolt to the engine. Also, we have the oil cooler, thermostatic oil cooler adapter, the Moco. So yeah, everything is, you know, quality, good stuff. All right, let's go forward and see how far we can get today. I'm expecting I can get the clutch, the flywheel, the clutch, the gearbox on, and the whole turbo system. Is midday by now. Some of the stuff you can't rush, you just have to do it properly, you know, because that actually makes a difference on the result. So yeah, let's go. I could probably put the camera on a stand somewhere and do like a time lapse, but it's not worth it really. This is just documenting what we're doing and how we do it. So this has just arrived. Steering wheel, still not bolts, but at least we got the steering wheel. However, we're starting with a couple of issues. So we have the Moco adapter for the oil cooler. This doesn't fit correctly, and guess these have to stick out obviously. So I have to machine that down by about 7 mil, 8 mil. I can go down. The only problem is, when I saw in the pictures the kit for the VR6 engine, this had like a blanking cap, which is weird that is not present in the kit. However, I'm not gonna wait for whatever solutions are gonna make them. And I already made custom made one for this engine, so I'm gonna reuse it. The problem is, even if I lower this down by obviously removing some of the thread, because it's way too long, it's only gonna go down by 7-8 mil, and that will still leave me this protruding way too much, because this one, it has this is the one I made with the turbo obviously oil feed, but this is too close, so we're still missing about 4 mil. The beauty is that this is bolted into it, and then if there's a plenty of space, this is something I can rectify. I can put this in a lathe and machine this down to whatever I need. I'm probably gonna remove more than 4 mil, maybe 5 mil, just to leave a millimeter for the O-rings to squeeze and seal properly. So that's something I can do. Obviously, is a completely different thing than, you know, removing the kit, put it on, bolt it on. It literally takes 30 seconds. And now this needs machining off, that needs machining, cleaning, because obviously when you machine stuff, everything goes in right. So clean it and all the stuff, it transforms into about an hour and a half job from 30 seconds. And this is the difference. Now the bigger issue is that the new exhaust manifold doesn't fit. Now don't you think that for 12 valves?
Huh?
Don't you think the exhaust manifold is for 12 valves?
No.
No?
I don't know what it is, but I think 12 amps of different spacing.
Yeah, I think it was different. Anyways, doesn't. I'm not gonna show you. So that's not gonna waste time. Pick it up. Just doesn't fit. So one option is using the old exhaust manifold, which as a design I kind of like it. It is alright because it's quite compact, it's strong, being cast, but it's not really completely log style because obviously it's kind of like a hybrid between Lockster and tubular, because you know, individual runners, but then they join into one kind of big merge. And this, I like it. It's a good design for what it is, because it's cheap and it's strong. I like it. But it's a T3 flange and a single scroll. We have a T4 flange twin scroll. You say, okay, you can get adapters. Yeah, you can get adapted from a T3 to T4, but we're still staying single scroll and we're not using the full potential of this turbo. Now, it's not a huge downside because this engine is going to produce so much torque load down anyway. On a lightweight car, it doesn't really matter. Sometimes having a bit of a lag is actually helpful. So not losing loads. However, it's not really, you know, the way we want to do this stuff, and it's just kind of when it's not using the full pot. It's just, I don't know. It doesn't sound right. There's another solution, maybe. Well, obviously the best solution will be to get a proper exhaust manifold, maybe tubular, but you know, VR6, you're looking at close to $2,000 for the exhaust manifold. And you have to order them, they have to arrive, blah, blah. This is not a solution here. Steve, do you want to order the camera or put the turbo on? And I'll show it. Just grab it from here and there because he's got like 7 microphones. If you block one, you can't hear nothing. Which is bullshit. So with this is something to say. Sometimes people use it. You keep a twin screw, obviously, so you have to make it like a Y piece that goes on the bottom, up, T4 flange in this position, and then bolted that roughly there. Obviously the turbine, the compressor will be there. So the position of the turbo is there, is just rotated differently. So yeah, it's kind of.
Personally, I'm a big fan of it. I've seen it done quite a lot of times.
It's compact to the engine. We got space.
I just think it looks cool.
And it's mint, and it keeps it a proper twin screw. And the standard, because these, you can see them, they're pretty much like a merge collectors, and they, you know, well designed.
They are very good.
There's no shot. Yeah. It's nice. In fact, it's just, it's good. It's good. That's why we kept them. But also, it's work because you have to get these flanges. You know, I don't know where to get them. That bolt is cracked. We have to get it through. Don't know. Maybe. What do you think?
I like this one if it's possible.
I mean, it's possible.
I mean, no, you know, in a relatively short amount of time, possible. Everything's possible. But personally, this is always the thing I like the idea of, which is why I kept the manifolds. Not for this car, but for some future project I may never do.
We should have the other pairs somewhere.
Yeah, we did have 2 pairs.
Throw them away.
I can't imagine us throwing it away, but yeah, there was a second pair. Exactly the same, they're identical.
Obviously the best would be just to get an exhaust manifold for that turbo, for this engine, transversal, because longitudinal ones don't fit because they have a turbo here. Just put it on. But again, that's...
Don't look likely in a short time period, unfortunately. Or if it is, it's really expensive, making it not really worth it. I mean, I'm thinking from if it's my own thing, I would be doing this or using the cast one, which is not ideal, but it will still work.
That one is still work. We get adapted from the T3 to T4, but it's a single scroll. It's a bit of a compromise.
Yeah.
I can say it's not horrible because again it's a VR6 in a lightweight car. Like I say, this is gonna be flying anyway. But
yeah, I know. I prefer.
It doesn't sound right, does it?
No, no. I don't like compromising. This is why I really like these, because these standard manifolds modified to turbo isn't in any way a compromise. Cause I think these perform or would perform better than a lot of aftermarket
This we prefer like a proper tubular one.
Yeah, and you know the funny thing as well, I don't ask me the science because I don't know, but on a lot of really big power 6-cylinder straight six drag cars, they don't build them with a merged electric turbo anymore. They build them like this. I don't know why. They have 3 and 3 join into 2 and then 1 to the turbo. I don't know why. You know, back in the day, it was always merged electric turbo.
Yeah, we used to make them this way. Sure. We used to make them this way. This is the one I bought. Stainless cast.
Yeah.
But this is how I used to make them.
Yeah, this is how they all. That's the traditional, supposedly the correct way. But on drag engines, some like these crazy power RB drag engines and JCs,
they kind of join them early and then
and then a single pipe. Yeah. They literally, it's like they go 3 to 1, 3 to 1, and then 2 to 1, and then a link pipe to the turbo. The science behind that, I don't know, but it's not wrong. That's the main thing I'm getting at.
Do you know what? I think I'm gonna leave Chris to look around the internet because I'm gonna find something that he likes. If he doesn't find anything suitable or reasonable, then maybe this is the way to go. The only thing is this will have to build in the car because I need to find. Actually no, because you see the engine is here. MR2. Head, not here, it's head.
Yeah.
So even the turbo is sided higher than the engine itself, you still got plenty of space here. And you look mean. I mean, we're not doing this for the looks, but
it
if
will
you
look
get the
the
looks,
car,
you know, that's
exactly.
that's a bonus.
Yeah.
I think.
This is my favourite.
Right. When you have more fabrication, that's gonna take fucking, I don't know, day and a half, maybe 2 in total. Should take a day. Gauge, 2 days. The waste gauge. We're gonna have to get, I don't know the waste gauge though.
And flanges.
Flanges, yeah. Obviously the 4 flanges, you know, you find out whatever, but these.
I think we can get them. I'll have to have a look.
What, these?
I think so.
No, if someone made them, that's good. I don't want to design it because I'm not gonna design flanges and get them cut just for 2 of them.
No.
Be too much. Alright, fuck it. Now we're gonna get these. Now I have to modify these. Go ahead with that. And the turbo system as exhaust side, we're gonna leave it for later on. I'm gonna reassemble everything here, the plenum, injectors, because the wiring loom needs to be modified because again injectors are different plugs. And yeah, I'm gonna do all this side. Another sensor because in the MR2s we run 2 water sensors. Luckily fits in there. Actually, it's one of these. I already have it because I already had it on the other engine. This is kind of like an adapter I make. And that's it. Machine this, put everything back together. Clutch. I want a clutch and a gearbox at least today on this engine and be ready to be fitted in the car. So it's gonna be a long day today. Another thing is that this pulley is mega tight, and although I made my tool to remove them because you have to keep obviously the outer flange, which is 46mm, in place, and then from inside go with a massive bar, and from inside you go from this and you tie them up on bolt. So this is how they go. Obviously mine got destroyed. This is mega tight. So instead of ordering one, it's gonna take a few days to arrive. Steve says he's got massive tools to make bridges, and he's gonna build any bridges any soon. He's got one of these. It's a socket 46mm, which we can't use. But if I modify it, if I machine it off, if I cut this off and keep that will go obviously on the top of the pulley, and then inside obviously I can still fit the 27mm to remove the crank bolt. So that's not the machining we're doing today. At least we can go forward because yeah, my plans just got out the window. This is supposed to be fully dressed for the full turbo system, clutch, flywheel, twin plate clutch, gearbox on, you know, lines on, and ready to go back into the car tomorrow morning. And it's almost 4 o'clock already, so yeah, this is what I'm saying, is like Steve was saying, is like a lot of stuff supposed to fit and it doesn't, and you have to do research and this and possibilities, and it's part of work, but it will have to be different if you order the stuff and you just fit, but they don't, and they rarely do actually. Sometimes you have to modify a little, sometimes a lot. In this case, yeah, the day went completely sideways. Anyways, let me go on machine room. Flywheel and clutch fitted. Alignment tool need to be more modified because it aligned the plates but didn't align the plates to the crank, so it was pretty useless. But now it's all on, aligned. This side is all done. Machine that, machine inside, everything matched. So this could be tight. Actually, it's almost tight, and we got everything there. This will probably have to be modified. Also, this is actually screwed in all the way. The thread actually is not deep enough, so even those have to be machined out a little bit. There you go, everything's supposed to fit, but nothing actually does today. This side's done. Crank pulley actually fitted finally. Yeah, I had to make another tool because that one actually is destroyed. Luckily, Steve had, fun enough, he had a 46mm socket I never used, so I machined it out, cut it up, machined, and weld this on. This is now really strong. So yeah, that's one. That's enough for today. With the exhaust side, exhaust manifold, we're still unsure what to do. So that's gonna be played up with the next 2 days. We make a decision. Anyways, enough for today. It's past 6. Off we go. See you tomorrow.